Wrestling fans, the road to WrestleMania continues with Elimination Chamber, and future WWE Hall of Famer Marty Jannetty joins us L-I-V-E live for an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view watch-along. Watch the big event with friends, join the live chat, get an autograph, and help keep wrestling legends working. Set a reminder on YouTube for this special episode now, and expect the unexpected.
1984 was a huge year for WWF. Hulkamania had kicked off, defeating the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden in January of '84. At that point, you were one half of the WWF Tag Team Championship. Vince McMahon Jr., as we'll call him here for a time, he took over from Vince McMahon Sr. He began a national expansion, cherry-picking top talent from all over the country. Take us back to that time, Tony, through your eyes, through the locker rooms, through the arenas, through the big matches.
I got shit canned.
In 1984?
Yep. Me and Rocky Johnson, they put us on the blacklist.
Now, why is that?
Well, it's hard to say, but it was, see, we was created by Vince Sr.
Right.
And everything that Vince Sr. created, Vince Jr. tried to destroy.
Everything.
Like me and Rocky, we were tag team champions for a year. We teamed up twice in a year.
Very limited, yeah.
Yeah. I was the only wrestler that was paid not to show up for WrestleMania 1.
Well, we're going to get there. Right now we're talking 1984. You're the tag team champions to kick off the year.
It didn't mean nothing. It's just like with Ron Summers. They put the belt on Ron Summers, and then, but it kept Sting on top.
Right, yeah.
Ron Summers was world champion. He was secondary to Sting. It was just the time. That's why I don't like talking about that time too much, because I don't want to say racism, because everybody use that term, but with somebody make a decision on whether you're going to be up, down, win, or lose, and you have absolutely no say-so on where you go in any business or profession. Wrestling is something that I try not to talk about. I try to forget. You know, I try not to drill on all that stuff from the 80s and the 90s. I remember the 70s, but I try to forget the 80s and I try to forget the 90s.
Now, why is that? We got to break it down.
There's nothing good about it.
There's nothing good about it. It was a negative time.
For minorities.
Well, I'll ask you this point blank.
Yeah.
Do you think you faced racism in WWF?
I wouldn't call it racism. I would call it... the majority of the fans were Caucasian, and they much rather cheer for somebody that was more like them than not like them. Now, Vince Sr. had a different perspective. Mm-hmm. He wanted somebody to represent each race. With Junior, it changed. Like, I can't watch the New Day.
Why don't you like
I can't watch that.
Now, why is that?
I can't watch that.
Well, there's a reason. Why, Tony?
Sickening.
Sickening.
It's sickening.
Why is it sickening?
It's like when you go to the circus and the clowns come out in the car.
They
clowns.
Well, they are a comedic group.
They clown. They clown. The last serious African American black wrestler had was JYD. That was it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Not Mark Henry, who you managed.
He let a midget beat him.
Well, they also gave him.
But he can't beat Hogswaller.
They gave him the world championship.
Yeah, and then they closed the company after they gave it to him.
Well, no, that was ECW. I'm talking about he held the SmackDown version of the title.
Yeah, then they took it right back away. Yeah.
All right, Tony.
But I mean, you take a 450-pound guy, could push a Greyhound bus, put 500 pounds over his head, but he can't beat a midget. Wonderful.
Well,
You ever see him have Big Show to lay down for a midget? You ever see him make Triple H lay down for a midget? Mark Henry's the only big guy I know that couldn't beat Hogswaller.
So you're trying to say that was a racist thing?
I'm not saying that it's racist, it's just that...
How about this? Maybe there are times when high-quality black professional wrestlers could have been booked better. Is that a fair statement to make? No.
Wait. Whenever you got any business that pick and choose who they want to be the top guy, and it's not just black wrestlers. There's a lot of good wrestlers and a lot of, especially females, especially female wrestling. Just to be a good female wrestler is not good enough. You have to be drop dead gorgeous.
In most cases,
if you're not drop dead gorgeous, you would never be a female. They don't have female wrestling, but they had divas. See, Moolah, Mae Young, and all them, they was wrestlers. You don't have female wrestlers anymore. You got divas, you know, and they have to dress,
provocatively.
Exactly.
There you go.
Otherwise, they can't make. They have to get silicone in their chest if they don't have natural breasts. If you know, it's more of an entertainment thing. And it's a hard sport to be in when you make no decision on what you do or say.
Yep. Fair statement.
In my day, if I had to do an interview, they said, Tony, you're going to wrestle Ric Flair. You got 1 minute. That's all the promoter told me. Now they give you a strip to read. Every word that come out of Miz's mouth is written by someone else.
And I think that's a horrible way to execute the promos.
Every move that they do in the ring was written for them. Everything is planned. From the first match to the last match to every word that is said is planned.
Overproduced.
Well, that's how they control everything the wrestlers say and do. In my day, the wrestler had more control.
Absolutely.
But since the 80s, I don't talk too much about it because no wrestler could take credit for anything they did from 1985 up. They're just following a strip.
Well, we're in 1984 right now.
1984, the wrestlers still have a say-so on what they do. That's why Hogan never beat me. I didn't want him to.
MSG, you had that big encounter. I remember that.
I told him if he's going to beat me, he got to do it on his own. Today, they tell you, let Hogan beat you, you lay down or you go home.
Yeah.
That's why what he did, he put all the other organizations out of business so that the wrestler had no place to run. You either do what Vince said or you go home. You eliminate all your competition. That way the wrestler, wrestler have more power over what they did and say because if Vince McMahon didn't treat you right, you go to work for Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne don't treat you right, you go work for Jim Crockett. Crockett don't treat you right, you go work for Bill Watts. Or you go work for the Von Erich. You had other places to go, but when Vince bought out all these territory, you had no place to go. It's kind of like Walmart come in, he take over all the businesses, and so you either work for Walmart or you don't go to work.
Right.
Because there's no more companies to go to. Walmart is the dominant employee of everywhere you go.
All right, well, you kicked off the year, you had the tag team titles. It wasn't the most pleasant experience with you and Rocky. Rocky would strand you at hotels when you had scheduled matches. Take us to April the 17th, 1984, the night they decided to take the belts off you and they put it on Dick Murdoch and Adrian Adonis.
And I knew nothing about it.
Well, explain. What do you mean you knew nothing about it? They just told you that night?
No, I didn't know we were going to lose.
You went into the match. No, what did you think the finish was?
We didn't have one. They said they'd tell me in the ring.
Why didn't they want to tell you?
Because they knew I wasn't going to do it.
Really?
They knew I wasn't going to do that. I would have press slammed both of them and threw them in the third row.
Why, you didn't want to drop the belts?
No. But Vince knew me.
Well, Rocky Johnson obviously knew.
But they told Rocky, but they didn't tell me. They used to tell Rocky a lot of stuff they wouldn't tell me. They did the same with SD. They would tell SD something, they wouldn't tell me nothing.
Why would they tell you, Tony? Rocky Johnson said in a recent interview, in that time period, you were difficult to do business with.
Because I was a man.
You were a man, okay.
Vince was not used to men. See, if I didn't like something, I would say something.
Boston wrestling sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and rock and roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.